Hello and welcome back to my Legion Beta series showing the different artifact quests, talents, abilities, and different changes to the different specs of each class. Right now we're going to be doing the Fury Warrior. As you can see, I have some transmog here from characters that I've had over the years that I copied over, but this is a template character. So as you can see, the name is a little plain. Don't want to be too obvious about my names. So we'll get right into it. We've finished the quest here. We're going to turn this in.
What can I do for you?
To this gentleman. He's going to give us the Dalaran Hearthstone and some Tome of Tranquil Minds. You're going to want to hang on to these if this quest gives us on the live servers, because these are going to be used to change your talents while you're in dungeons and out in the open world. They're very, very useful and very handy. We'll go ahead and put this on our bar just in case. Now, this gentleman's going to give us a little speech here, and to trigger your quest to move on in your artifact quest, you just basically have to run around Dalaran a little bit to have someone run up to you. So we're going to head over this direction, just like in the prot test, and wait for it to finally trigger. As you can see, sometimes it takes a little while. Hopefully I have not bugged, and it is going to show up at any moment.
Commander, I have a message for you.
Sergeant Dalton, just like in the prot test. Champion, I bear an urgent message from Doneth Trollbane. He requests that you join him at Crossus's Landing. He has an urgent mission that requires your expertise.
Excellent, Commander. Daneth awaits you on Crassus's Landing. I bear an important message from Doneth Trollbane.
And just like in the prot video, he's still bugged out and starts to speak to you again. Just ignore him and move along. We head up to Crossus's Landing, which you may remember from the last 50 million times we've been to Dalaran. And here's Doneth.
Look there upon that terrible sight. How many disasters
I am relieved you survived the broken shore when so many brave heroes were lost. Doneth hangs his head in a moment of silence. I have been recalled from Honor Hold to aid the Alliance in its darkest hour. It is crucial that we learn from our mistakes. Do you have time to speak? Complete. If I am to assist in this war, I need first-hand info. I will fly to the broken shore and see the battlefield for myself. Your record as a proven commander is unquestioned, and you were there. I could use your insight. Will you accompany me to the broken shore? I don't anticipate engaging the enemy, but that close to the Fellstorm, one can never be sure. Yes, Doneth, we will follow you. We'll hop on this griffin here and take off. Again, in the description below, I will be giving you times on which you can find something if you're not interested in watching this again and you watched my prot video and you're only worried about that, but you want to see what the different abilities
is filthy
look like.
With corruption.
You can find that below and you can skip ahead.
Campaign awaits us. Look out! Evasive maneuvers! Get out of here, champion! I'll find my own way!
Shrug off your wounds, warriors! Another battle awaits!
Harvey didn't say they would be so short.
That old seer is mad, but rarely wrong. Come, friend, more demons approach. Prove your valor.
I'm out of range. A Valkyr approaches. We must greet her with respect. Come, heroes.
Hardgrim! Ulrich! Odin has judged you worthy for his halls! Come with me to glory!
Watch over me from above, my brothers, and save me a seat. A brute has joined the battle, little hero. Come and meet your fate before your place is taken!
My forces are legion. Your efforts are futile. Enough! I will break you myself!
Well, will you look at that?
At last! Ha ha! This is the glorious death Harvey promised me!
I say we kill the demon instead. Little hero, you have proven yourself a worthy ally. Will you stand with us, even though it could mean our death?
Ha! With all of us together, we may yet be victorious. Either way, I'll not go down easily. Let us be about it then!
I will salute your courage in the halls of valor, or over this monster's corpse.
Your pathetic resistance only delays the inevitable. All will die to the Legion! Is that the best you can manage, weaklings? A few scratches?
I can still fight.
You will die like the insect you are!
Fight on, hero. For me, the halls await.
Enough of this! Face your destruction! You yet stand! Impossible! Death comes, but I will take you with me!
A valorous sacrifice! But it is not yet your time!
And here we will find ourselves at the end of the opening quest for warriors in Legion after arriving on, or in Dalaran rather. And this is going to be the warrior class hall. And unfortunately we disconnected, so I will be right back. Okay, and I had to go through that 2 more times to get it to work, but we have now shown up in the Halls of Valor. the Warrior Class Hall. Quite possibly the best looking one. Very Diablo 3-esque. The High Heavens. Beautiful. Just a wonderful, wonderful class hall. They did a great job on this. But let's keep it moving, and we'll talk to this lady.
Glory to Odin.
Welcome to the Halls of Valor, hero. Normally one must die to gain entrance, but times have changed. Fear not, mortal. You are not dead. I was directed to collect you before your demise by Odin himself. I will take you to Odin now. Follow me.
Glory to you. Behind you lies the Eye of Odin, which peers across all of Azeroth. This way lies the Forge, where the mightiest weapons of the Valajar are crafted by Helgar, the greatest smith in the halls. Across the Vey lies the Arena of Glory, where warriors vie for supremacy in epic combat. Before us lies the Great Mead Hall, where drink and stories flow freely. Odin awaits ahead. I will go forth and announce you. Be respectful.
I have foreseen the coming of a mighty champion to these shores. One who would slay countless foes and prove their valor time and again. One who would lead my armies to victory against the great darkness that seeks to devour this world. You have proven yourself the greatest living warrior on Azeroth. It is for this reason I have saved you. I name you Valajar. Bring glory to these halls on the wings of my Valkyr.
Okay, ignore the floating NPCs. That's something I'm sure will be fixed. Now all here know who you are. It is time for armaments befitting my champion. As the greatest warrior in these halls, you require a great weapon to do both your will and mine. I have looked down on Azeroth and found artifacts worthy of your hands. I leave it to you to choose which artifact you wish to seek out and wield against the Legion. We will recover the others in time. Select an artifact weapon to pursue. This is the point at which you will choose what your main spec will be for Legion. And I think it's 103, you'll be able to pick an off-spec and go for that weapon as well. But for the purposes of this video, we are going to be doing the Fury Warrior. The war swords of my very own Valajar, my greatest champion, stolen from me by the Cur Hylia. She and her fool servant make a mockery of their prowess by stealing the souls of great heroes before they can ascend to the halls of valor. Mighty weapons that would turn you into a living storm of steel and fire. They would make a worthy choice. The war swords of Valajar. And as you can see, they are item level 750, 3.6 second weapon speeds. Both have a lot of strength and stamina. Both have crit and mastery. And your equip bonus is grants the Odin's Fury ability, which unleashes massive fire damage on nearby enemies. And I will show that ability once we have the weapons in hand. That'll be towards the end of the video. Here we go.
Tell me of your battles.
I knew you would pick that one. Let us be about it.
Go now.
Hylia has made a mockery of my order by creating her own Hellarjar. Powerful undead tasked with hunting down heroic warriors and taking their souls before my Valkyr can claim them. Among them is her personal champion, Vigfus Bladewind, who wields 2 stolen blades I forged myself long ago. He has returned to Tidescorn Harbor with a full cargo of stolen souls to take Helheim. Go there, kill him and his Hellarjar, and make the swords yours.
Remember, life is nothing without valor.
And on our way we will go. And we'll take a look at the class hall on our way back. I'll give you a basic breakdown. I'm not going to go too in-depth because it can be a little daunting when you first get inside, but it becomes very easy. It's definitely not as difficult as putting a garrison together and getting that up and running. So Not a big deal, but the warriors definitely do have what I consider to be the most beautiful class hall. Let's meet up with Aurelia,
I serve a greater power.
and she will send us on our way. Jumping from the heavens back down into Stormheim. This is Stormheim right here. And I believe this is where the Prot warrior does his artifact quest. And we come hurling in. Landing like a boss. Oops, and we forgot our mount here. Let's go Griffin. Somehow my bars disappeared in between now and then, so we'll just stick that there for now.
Captain Bladewing, a warrior is attacking us.
I'm out of range.
One, kill the fool and keep my cargo safe. Don't wake me again. To arms! Avenge me! Enough trifling with fodder. I will harvest your soul myself! You'll not get below. The very dead will rise to stop you!
So as you can see, you do take quite a bit of damage. This isn't something that really is indicative of what your leveling experience is going to be like from what I've seen. I've leveled all the way through to 110 on a Demon Hunter. It is, you don't seem to take as much damage. You do take quite a bit though, so you know, you do have to be a little bit more careful than you are on the live servers.
Protect the Congo. Protect the souls.
Now, it could very well be that I'm just extraordinarily bad, but I'm under the assumption that the damage that I'm taking is something that's in the scenarios to get you used to not pulling 27,000 packs like we do on live, but we'll keep moving on. Just take a look around. You can definitely see the Freljord. Is that what it was called? Or the Howling Fjord? Freljord. The Howling Fjord from Wrath of the Lich King. Definitely gives you that spooky feeling. That Viking-esque look to everything. It's really neat. Oh, spiders. We don't want to go up there. See if we can get around here without having to fight every single pack. We might be able to jump there. We can.
What are you idiots doing? Well now, what is this I sense? A soul that radiates great power! I will take you to Helheim myself, hero of Azeroth! Then come meet death, hero! Helia's gifts have made me strong! In my hands, these blades have slain thousands! I am the champion of the Herashard! Die and accept your fate!
Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully, we'll just cut that out. We'll just get rid of that after we fight these guys. Okay, round 2, and
I'm out of range.
Then come! I am the champion of the Herashard! Die, this spray has quite a bite! Follow, if you dare! Come meet a little farther before we fight, hero. I have a surprise for you! Hell yeah! Aid your champion! I will claim this prize in your name!
So this is the champion of Odin. Let them die by Odin's own blades. I bless these weapons with the fury of Helheim. Go, Vigfus. Slay the champion and earn my favor for all eternity!
Too far away. I'm out of range. I need a target. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
No! I'll not fall to Odin's lapdog! I will destroy you! No! No! Helya! Give me more power! I see only darkness. Helya! No! No!
Vigfus, you weak fool! Your torment will be unending! I grow weary of your presence. Tell Odin that this changes nothing. He will suffer my wrath for ages to come!
And back to the class order hall we go. That's a bit of a spoiler. You'll see her quite a few times. Helya. You'll see her quite a bit. But for now, we're back in the warrior class hall, the halls of valor, and we're taking our war swords of the Valorjar to Odin, and we will get a bit of a tour here. Alright.
Have you brought valor?
Curse
to these
Helya.
halls?
She's corrupted the blades. Still, her champion defeated. Her Hellerjar skulking back to Helheim, and my weapons in the hands of my chosen champion. She even made them more powerful than before. Wield them well. Smite the enemies of this world.
Go now.
Your new weapon is very powerful, but my smiths have mastered crafting over thousands of years. Speak to Master Smith Helgar and see what improvements can be made.
Remember,
Head over there now. One thing I do want to point out is this little UI that shows up every time you go to your class order hall. It'll be right at the top. Bring everything down a little bit. You can see here, class order resources, the exact same thing as garrison resources, and you'll gain them as you go through your class order hall. It will give you certain quests that'll give you those, much like the garrison missions. Also, you will get them through questing and world quests at 110. So you really won't ever have to worry too much about these unless you're not paying attention to your quest log at all. But you will gain these at a very, very easy rate, and you get tons of them at 110. So here we are. This is the forge. That artifact is amazing. I can already see the potential we can unlock. This forge has been working for longer than your race existed. We might know a few things. Your weapon is powerful. It will take my personal forge in order to make it work. Excuse me, in order to work it. We can work the artifact to provide various improvements, provided you have enough experience with it. Let's give it a try, shall we? And this is the Forge of Odin. And this is your UI that you will use for your war swords in order to upgrade them. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Right up here at the top, we have our artifact slots, and I'll tell you about those in just a moment. But here we go. This is our weapon. This is our weapon ability. This is this one right down here that you'll be able to use. It's on a 45-second cooldown. You always have a rank in it once you have the item and once you have it equipped. It unleashes the fiery power Odin bestowed upon the war swords, dealing 29,551 fire damage and an additional 19,424 fire damage over 4 seconds to all enemies within 20 yards. That is always checked, and here's our first one. This is our tutorial, the Thirst for Battle. 1 rank. Increases damage dealt by Bloodthirst by 15%. And we have a cost here of 100 artifact power. As you can see, they give you 100 artifact power to finish the tutorial. So we'll go ahead and add that in, head down to 1, and we'll talk about this in just a moment. But we'll take a look here at the different abilities that have unlocked. Most of them are passives, and we'll go over them really quickly. 3 ranks here in Wild Slashes. It increases the damage of Furious Slash by 3%. We have Unstoppable. Increases damage dealt by Rampage by 3%. 3 ranks. We have Blood Craze. While you are below 20% health, Bloodthirst restores an additional 1% of your health. 3 ranks in there. We got 3 ranks for Battle Scars. Increases maximum health by 2% during Enrage. Uncontrolled Rage, 3 ranks. Charge generates an additional 5 rage. And again, all of these will go up by 3%. Like this one will go up to a 9% with 3 ranks. I'm sure you understood that, but I thought I'd get that out there. We have, here we are, Unrivaled Strength, 3 ranks. Increases all critical damage you deal by 10% during Battle Cry. Raging Berserker, increases all damage you deal during Enrage by 3%. Helya's Wrath, 1 rank, reduces the cooldown of Battle Cry by 10 seconds, and we'll talk about these abilities in just a little while. We have Sense of Death, 1 rank, passive is Execute has a 15% chance to make your next execute cost no rage. And Focus in Chaos, 1 rank, your auto attacks have no penalty to hit from dual wielding during Enrage. And we have Death Dealer, 3 ranks, increases the critical strike chance of execute by 3% per rank. And Wrath and Fury, 3 ranks, increases damage dealt by Raging Blow by 3%. And then we have these 3 abilities, as you can see with the dragon portrait around. These are the stronger abilities, and we'll take a look at them. We have Rage of the Valorjar, 1 rank, and this passive is Rampage and Execute have a chance to activate Berserking, increasing your attack speed and critical strike chance by 5% every 1 second for 12 seconds. So what's that, a maximum of 60% at the 12th second? It's pretty good. That's a pretty good ability right there. I like that one. We have Odin's Champion, 1 rank passive. When you use Rampage, Odin has a chance to declare you the champion of the Valorjar for 10 seconds. It will cause all of your offensive abilities to reduce the cooldown of all of your abilities by 2 seconds. Huh. Well, that's a good one. That's a really strong one. This is why I like Fury. Just mashing buttons all the time. And here we have the last one, Juggernaut. 1 rank, the passive Execute increases damage dealt by Execute by 5% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 99 times. Well, that's gonna hurt. My God, can you imagine Execute spams? That's a little bit much. I like it though. I like it, yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about these really quickly and then talk about this before we move on. For the War Swords of the Valarjar, you will have 3 sockets. You have 3 sockets for everything at the top. You might be wondering what these are. These are the relic slots. You'll get these through questing. You'll get them through dungeons. You'll get them through world quests. You'll get them probably through raids. I know there's epic ones, mythic dungeons, etc. When you put them in here, you'll gain stats to these. So just because there's 3 ranks in Blood Craze does not mean I think that you can only have 3 ranks. You can go up, if say this has +2 to Blood Craze, you get an extra 2 ranks in Blood Craze, and that'll go up. So these are really neat. Neat. They also add item levels to your weapons as well, and some of the iron artifact relic slots, these particular ones here, are extraordinarily strong, and I think they drop from raids and higher tiered mythic dungeons. So you keep a lookout for those when you get to 110. Okay, so we will turn in this quest. This is this is the forge. This is where you will add all your points in. You can only add points in here at the forge. As of now, as of right now, this is the only spot where you can actually put points into these. Your weapon has untold potential. You will need to get more acquainted with it first, and we can work on it some more.
I serve Odin.
It is time to begin the war in Azeroth. We've prepared a tool for you to direct your warriors and your own operations from here. It is called the Eye of Odin. If you will follow me, I will take you to it, and someone that will help you use it.
Strive to be worthy.
Okay, and here we are. This gentleman is here as well. Okay.
Spit it out.
It's been a while since I've talked to the living. I hope you don't mind if I assist you. Being slain in combat has given me a calmer outlook in this emergency than other warriors.
Judgment awaits.
The Legion thinks you're dead. It will be quite the surprise when you punish them for that assumption. This allows us to see all across the Broken Isles and assign warriors to various tasks. Once you've taken a look, you should choose your first area of operation. I've already picked out the best spots, and this is when we will select your order's first assault point. This is where you will choose where you will make your drop-in on this right here. We'll click on that, and there we are. There are, at this point, 5 zones here. I am not quite sure what this island is. This is where the Broken Shore questline was done. So that is for later in the expansion. And obviously here's Dalaran. But you can choose from these 4 zones: Azuna, Val'Shara, High Mountain, and Stormheim from here. And pick up your quest to head to one of those zones and start leveling up. Mind you, all of these zones will level up with you, no matter what zone you start in and what zone you finish in. It will be the exact same level as you, and at 110, all of the zones will be 110. Okay, so just to move this along, we're going to pick Stormheim and accept that quest. An excellent choice. As more opportunities arise, I will bring them to your attention. Good luck in battle.
To glory!
If you ever find yourself out of quests in a zone, and you think that zone is complete, or that zone is complete, you can always come back to Dalaran, head to your class order hall, and touch this again. I'll show you quick. And those will pop back up. So, obviously you can't do it right now, but after the initial is done, you can go to any of the zones. So we will head over here, and I forgot to mention this in my last video. This is the Quartermaster.
Sniveling pig.
If you're on the beta, or if you're just interested in checking out some of this, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He sells some gear that you can get at 110. These are kind of the old sets. If you remember from Vanilla, where you'd have like a blue set, and even in Burning Crusade, there were mini sets before the raid sets. So this guy sells some really good gear.
And don't come back! Olaf,
He doesn't want me to look at it. He sells some really, really cool stuff. Battle Lords, Pauldrons, we'll take a look at them. Those are really good. So, you'll get a chance to check that out all on live. I don't want to throw too much at you right now. So, we're going to travel to Dalaran. We'll talk to this young lady here, who is going to throw us back to Earth. Or Azeroth. Whichever you prefer. Here we come, flying in from the heavens. So cool. Just so cool. And we head over to the Violet Citadel to talk with, I believe it's Sky Admiral Rogers, who will send us on our way towards Stormheim. Again, it may be different depending on which zone you choose. This is not necessarily indicative of what your experience may be depending on what zone you choose to start in. So, you won't always be heading here. You will if you choose Stormheim, but otherwise you may have a different person to turn into, like Khadgar, etc. It's an honor.
What's the situation?
Well met. I have come on behalf of King Anduin Rin. My crew is preparing for a special mission, and the king would like you to join us. Please review this official summons, and if you are satisfied, return with me to Stormwind Harbor. Rogers hands you a sealed envelope.
Show them what we're made of.
Champion, the Skyfire is about to embark on an urgent mission. I must ask that you accompany them. Report to Stormwind Harbor as soon as possible. They are under strict orders not to leave without you.
Follow me. The Skyfire is just about ready to leave.
I trust that your valor and discretion will serve the Alliance well, as it always has. With honor, King Anduin Rin.
Okay, and that is the end of that. We would talk to Sky Admiral Rogers and do a few things before flying off to Stormheim from Stormwind Harbor in this Skyfire. But we're not going to do that. That will be for another day, maybe another episode. For now, I'm going to head over here in Stormwind to show you our weapons, give you a nice little look at them, and also show you some of the really cool animations, and we'll go through our talents and the abilities and how they may have changed, or if I just don't recognize them, because I don't necessarily play warrior. So we'll take a look at all of this real quick. And here we are. I'm sure there's quite a few people, although it's, as you can see, it's pretty early in the morning. Not as bad as last time. So we'll head to our same spot, turn around, get a good look here, or none, depending on how I'm feeling. And there they are. There are the War Swords of the Valarjar. So cool, so cool. And if you shift click on these, you can open this up. Again, you cannot put points into any of these abilities outside of your class hall as of right now. That may change at some point, either before the beta ends or somewhere down the line on the live servers. But you can put your artifacts into these slots as you're questing. So remember, shift right click will open this up, this interface up, and you're able to put these in. And I forgot to talk about this, so I'll do this very quickly. Every time you put some points into these, once you have enough artifact power to put your points in, this will increase, and what happens is your stamina will be increased by a flat percentage for every trait purchased up to 34 traits. Now, I'm not quite sure if your damage will be increased too at some point, but I'm sure it might be. I'm sure it might be. This might just be a little bug here. But okay. Well, there's our swords. Looking pretty sweet, looking pretty tough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at our talent tree. give you an idea of what a Fury talent tree is going to look like once these hit the live servers. And well, in the 15 tier, we have War Machine. Killing a target grants you 30% haste and 30% movement speed for 10 seconds. Endless Rage, your auto attack generates 30% additional rage. And Fresh Meat, Bloodthirst has a 30% increased crit chance against targets above 80% health. In the 30 tier, we have Shockwave, which I won't go into. We all know Shockwave, and Stormbolt as well. And Double Time increases the amount of charges by 1 and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. So you have 2 charges to use at any given time, and they would both have their own separate recharge time. Wrecking Ball in the 45 tier. Your attacks have a chance to make your next Whirlwind cost no rage and deal 200% increased damage. Well, that's interesting, because Whirlwind doesn't cost rage. So, that may just be a bug, and I'll have to report that after the video's over. But you get 200% increased damage Whirlwind. Unfortunately, the rage cost doesn't matter. And Outburst, Berserker Rage now causes Enrage. And then Avatar, which we all know. And in the 60 tier, Furious Charge. Charge also increases the healing from your next Bloodthirst by 300%. So that's good. That's a good way. That combined with Double Time might be really good for leveling. I didn't even think of that. So keep an eye on that. That's a nice little mix between those two, and maybe adding War Machine in there, or Fresh Meat rather. Yeah. Bounding Stride reduces the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15 seconds, and Heroic Leap now also increases your run speed by 70% for 3 seconds. That's also a good talent. And then War Paint. You now take only 20% increased damage from Enrage. We move on to our 75 tier Massacre. Execute critical strikes, reduce the rage cost of your next rampage by 100%. Frothing Berserker. When you reach 100 rage, your damage is increased by 10% and your movement speed by 30% for 3 seconds. So if you could mix that with maybe Endless Rage, a couple other things, you would try and get to 100 rage, stay there, dump a little bit, get back up. It's a good talent. Carnage, as a passive, reduces the cost of Rampage by 20 rage. Then we go to the 90 tier. We have Bloodbath. For 8 seconds, your melee attacks and abilities cause the target to bleed for 20% additional damage over 6 seconds. I think that's the same as it is on live, except it's not this is a castable. Frenzy, which I love, but as you can see, I was pretty derpy and didn't keep it up all the time. But this is a passive. Furious Slash increases your haste by 5% for 10 seconds and stacks 3 times. And then we have Inner Rage, passive. Raging Blow no longer requires Enrage and deals 100% increased damage, but has a 4.5 second cooldown. So that would be an interesting one to go with, but I still think Frenzy's the best one in that tier. And at the 100 tier, we have the one and only Blade Storm. Everyone knows this one. This is my personal favorite, as it's just really cool looking. But we're not going to go over the numbers there because they're likely to change. Reckless Abandon is a passive. Battle Cry generates 100 rage, and we'll talk about Battle Cry in just a minute. Give you a little look at that. And then Dragon Roar. Roar, explosively dealing 9,613 damage to all enemies within 8 yards, and increasing all damage you deal by 20% for 6 seconds. Dragon Roar ignores all armor and always crits. Also, it's on a 20-second cooldown, so every 6 seconds, every 20 seconds, you'd have it up for 18 seconds every minute, with 20% increased damage. Not a bad choice. People would have to test these 3 out to see which one is the best to min-max, but Blade Storm is the one we're going to take for now, just because it's so neat. So we'll take a look at our abilities here. We have Heroic Throw. Oh, by the way, all of these abilities here is pretty much everything you have as a Fury Warrior. I stuck it here on this bar. As you can see, the bloat is pretty much gone, although there is a lot here, but we'll take a look. Heroic Throw is the same. Heroic Leap is the same. Avatar, we know. Pummel is the same, Berserker Rage the same. Battle Cry has changed, and so has Commanding Shout. These used to be your buffs. These are now triggers that last for a short period of time. Battle Cry. Let loose a Battle Cry granting 100% increased crit strike chance for 5 seconds. This is the old, I believe it was Recklessness. And Commanding Shout. Let loose a Commanding Shout, granting all party or raid members within 30 yards 15% increased max health for 10 seconds. And that's on a 3-minute cooldown, like a mini last stand for the raid. And Intimidating Shout's the same. Piercing Howl the same. Charge is the same. Furious Slash. This is what we were talking about. This is your bread and butter attack outside of Bloodthirst. Fury Slash, aggressively strike with your offhand weapon for roughly 14.5 thousand damage. It increases your Bloodthirst critical strike chance by 15% until it next deals a crit strike, stacking up to 6 times. So, trading these off, stacking this up, and then trading off for this is really the way to go. I didn't read these, I have to be honest, before I made this video. I just kind of jumped into it to see how easy it was to play, just to show for any new players out there who were thinking of changing that it's not really that difficult, although I did die the one time, but I feel like that might have been over-tuned, or I'm just an idiot. So, Bloodthirst is the same, restores 5% of your health, and you can really get that up with some of these other abilities. So we're going to jump to this one really quickly to go with show you Bloodthirst. Enraged Regen has changed. It's on a 2-minute cooldown. It reduces damage taken by 30%, and a Bloodthirst will restore an additional 20% health. You can use this while stunned, and it lasts for 8 seconds, which means you can get maybe 1 or 2 of these off, depending on if you get a proc. But that increases this to 25% of your health back, which could be really useful. And then also stacking this up, these 3 together, makes you a powerhouse. But we'll move on. Raging Blow is the same, but this is only usable while enraged unless you take the talent to make it only cost rage. Whirlwind, same thing, except it doesn't cost rage anymore. Also causes your next Bloodthirst or Rampage to strike up to 4 additional targets for 50% damage. Now that's incredible. That really puts Fury Warriors up there in the AoE department. Being able to pop a Whirlwind and then using Bloodthirst, you can get a really big heal off, because I'm sure this will end up healing you for that 50% damage on the 4 other targets. So that'll be really nice while leveling, especially if you end up pulling too much, which I don't recommend. Of course, Execute. Execute is the same. Rampage, I don't think this is the same. If you think differently, please let me know. I don't play Fury on the live servers, so I'm not sure. But Rampage enrages you and unleashes a series of 5 brutal strikes over 2 seconds for a total of 43,342 damage. That's a really cool ability. Bladestorm we talked about, Stormbolt we talked about, and here is the Odin's Fury weapon ability that we talked about. So now that we've kind of gone through these abilities, I'm going to show you some of the new animations. We'll check them out and see if anything catches our eye.
I need a target.
Intimidating Shout we will use on this here. No real change in the animation. Commanding Shout kind of looks like the old Demoralizing Shout. There we go, that's our battle cry. That's pretty cool looking. We looked at that in our last video. Minor differences there when using Berserker Rage, a little bit there. Now mind you, I don't have my animations all the way up, so these may look different for you if you are on Ultra. Avatar turns you into an oil slick. No, I actually think this is really cool. This avatar looks amazing. I love that. I love how it affects the weapons too. It's a really interesting one. But we'll also take a look at, pardon me, we'll switch over here. We'll take a look at Heroic Leap. Change that up. That's really cool. I love that. I love that new heroic leap. And we have a couple other abilities that we'll take a look at. We'll take a look at Whirlwind, actually. They changed that. Amazing. I love that. Incredible. And it looks a lot like Bladestorm, which has changed a little bit. Love that animation. Enraged Regen. Pretty cool. Kind of has the opposite effect of Last Stand, which the Prot Warrior will turn blue, Fury Warrior turns red. Let's take a look here and hit our test dummy. That is our Furious Slash. Nice animation. Bloodthirst. Same animation. Raging Blow. Pretty neat. And here's our Rampage. Pretty cool. That was actually really neat. I like that a lot. And of course, we will take a look at our last ability here that we have not seen. Odin's Fury. Let's see what this looks like. Kind of a little disappointed, but not much. It kind of looked like a mix between the Whirlwind and the Bladestorm effect. Again, we're in beta right now. Things may change, animations may change. That is pretty neat, though. I did like that. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it was pretty neat. I still think Avatar is the best, along with Whirlwind. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for checking out this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. If you have anything you wanted me to check on, I'll try and check it out, and maybe I'll make another video if people like this one, leveling up Fury or testing it in a different zone, or if I missed an ability and you would like to have some clarification. Again, thank you guys, and you have yourselves a wonderful